Good afternoon, everyone. First observation of elusive auroras on Mars. Dead planet, no magnetic field. Explain that one. At the same time, Earth's crust, mud volcanoes and sand volcanoes was one of my calls to look for, with intensifying magnetic fields affecting the entire solar system. Mud volcano, explosive gas fields, Azerbaijan, unprecedented high sulfur dioxide degassing Taal, imminent eruption. We saw the break of the pipeline magically just to happen in Mexico, the collapse of a condo into a sinkhole, and now in Pakistan, another sinkhole opening up, swallowing part of a market. How many refinery, factory, pipeline fires can there be before you go, wait a second, maybe something's happening to Earth's crust magnetically? Earth's temperature's leveling out and then dropping on the 30-year averages. But if that was all a little too much, retailers are bracing for unprecedented shortages of everything. They're unable to build inventory from the highest container rates ever. Investors could still see some of the strongest price action in gold this year, according to Wells Fargo, which sees signs of a developing rally. Money managers believe we could see inflation reach new levels that we have not seen since the Jimmy Carter era. For centuries, investors around the globe have turned to gold in times of economic uncertainty. Gold supplies have flipped from excessive to deficient, and such times in the past have sparked some of gold's strongest price rallies, unquote. Patriot Gold Group has the no-fee-for-life IRA, where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold and silver, and you may be eligible for the no-fee-for-life IRA. So go ahead and give the folks at Patriot Gold Group a call to discuss physical gold and silver, and the knowledge that Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer 5 years in a row from 2016 till present. Click the link in the description box below for more information. And now on with the video. And we're going to start off here on the dead planet. No magnetic field, no atmosphere. Microbes couldn't even live up there. Remember, that's what they told us. The powers that be, NASA, European Space Agency, growing up, there's nothing that could survive. Now they're talking about dust leaking off the atmosphere, and here we go. I can clearly see an atmosphere, if you believe this image, off to the east there of what's considered elusive auroras. I said, wait a second. Mars doesn't even have a magnetic field, according to the experts. So how is it possible that there would be auroras running down magnetic field lines? Oh, that can be easily explained away. Magnetic anomalies still occur in the crust, and this is where the auroras are originating from, as metal composition in the crust. So I'm wondering if the same thing would happen here on the Earth, and this is why you're seeing so many rupturing pipelines, mud volcanoes, factory fires, infrastructure breaking, massive landslides underwater and above ground. Electrified crust in the top 2 miles, interfering with our infrastructure. And the Great Reset already has supply chain disruptions built right into the excuses to expect in the next couple of years. I wonder if they're connected. So as I was talking about these same 6-month increments moving in from Pluto, the 10x increase in auroras on Jupiter, and I was saying look for signs in the heavens. Literally, Saturn and Mars will start to flare off, and something will happen on the Earth magnetically connecting to that as a torus wave. And here we go. Mud volcanoes are a significant thing to look for, and I'm making a rare call. Sand volcanoes. Sand volcanoes. All eyes on Azerbaijan as the mud volcano punctures through a gas field, sending massive fireballs through the air. Rare and unusual, to say the least. And we are seeing all these factory fires. If it's not in Thailand with plastics, it's in the United States with plastics. And this is the largest oil refinery in Romania, and the 2 different instances down in Iran. And you really need to start asking, what is the crustal composition underneath these. And you need to ask yourself, with the electromagnetic interaction on our crust, what's happening with the pipes and the different conduits and infrastructure under these facilities? What's the composition of the crust? And as we move over to Ta'al, eyes should be on this one as well. If this goes off at a VEI 6, which it has in the past, 2 different occasions since the mid-1700s, this is going to usher in the most significant crop losses in over 100 years. Keep your eyes on this one as unprecedented high volcanic sulfur dioxide degassing reaches Manila. Millions of tons of fish also affected in Lake Ta'al. Fish farms decimated. But they're saying it's not related, that somehow this eruption here had no effect and this off-gassing has no effect in the water surrounding the fish farms, so the government's not culpable for anything. July 1st, eruptions reaching up some several thousand feet into the air, but the sulfur dioxide off-gassing is the highest levels ever recorded. So something significant happening there as well. Now that's volcanoes. You would expect an uptick in volcanoes if there's electromagnetic effects. First couple miles of our crust, water wells will be affected. Aquifers would be affected. Some areas are going to go dry. So massive crop growing areas would suddenly go dry. And there would have to be an excuse in place as such. And then we have the underwater natural gas pipelines from an oil rig that somehow ignite underwater, and you can see the chemical interaction with the seawater there. And we go to Pakistan, in Karachi. Sinkhole opens up right under Jili Market. Land subsistence in diverse places, and this shall continue. We are only at the very beginning. 2024 October will be the culmination of this first wave. Now, speaking of waves, undulating Earth's temperatures. This is 2-meter anomaly right here from Ryan Mawe, 1981 to 2010. Baseline average. And our globe currently sits at 0.26, above that 0 mark. What happened to the runaway 2 degree, 3 degree, 5 degree, 6 degree global warming scare that we need to change our lives for? And here we are 21 years into this century, and we're still at only a little over 0.2 of 1 degree above the baseline. A major volcanic eruption, that's going down. But something that's not electromagnetically affecting our lives on the planet, shipping container rates. This is the good news part of the video. Highest ever recorded for shipping rates. Look at that. Some of these boxes are about $11,000+ to run across the ocean on a single voyage. Headline accompanying this, it's too late to save Christmas. Grinch is in the house. Retailers brace for unprecedented shortages of everything. They should have capitalized every letter in everything to give it a little bit of extra oomph on there. Retailers are generally selling goods as fast as they can bring them in. Now see, with all of the reduction in business, I can't see how the supply chains funneled into the big box stores haven't smoothed themselves out. And I am also questioning, where's all this extra money coming from people? The stimulus is not coming into pockets any longer. Those checks have ceased, months and months ago. So how is this gigantic surge in demand suddenly, out of nowhere, rocking the supply chains? Quote, sales are so high right now, and this is talking about corporate 500 big box stores. The only thing left in business after all the mom and pops were put out. Sales are so high right now that they're unable to build inventories up substantially. I'm curious where the demand's coming from. I'm also curious why the corporate 500 can't keep their supply chains intact, why the shipping rates are so high, why we're going into hyperinflation, all at the same time the magnetic fields on the timeline are moving us into this next 3 years is it. This great reset was known by the elite. This cycle was repeating. I'm going to do a full-length video on just the magnetic anomalies on Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, and now Mars. Our Earth is next. Significant inbound changes with the jet streams and our atmosphere. Such interesting times we live in. But we all do need to eat, and I do encourage you to learn how to grow your own food. If you're unable to do that and you're not familiar with how to use Mylar bags to pack your own bulk foods for longer-term storage, you can reach out to my Patriot Supply, the 2-week and the 4-week emergency food supplies. 20-plus years shelf life. Give yourself the peace of mind knowing you have storable foods. Because if a VEI 6 rips off Ta'al, I'm going to be running in front of you in line to buy more. That link's in the description box below. It's a great way to support the channel, as well as all the links for tonight's very unusual crustal anomaly stories with the images. Do your own research. Don't believe a thing I say. Do your own research. That's why I leave all the links in the description box so you can do exactly that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.